Airbnb hosts are losing money in 2026. Let's see what some of them have to say and what their customers have to say about them.
Are we seeing the downfall of Airbnb? Our cabin that has been booked in the Smoky Mountains from about 85 to 95% occupancy year round is just not occupied at all. Our prices right now for 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom cabin overlooking the Smoky Mountains is less than a hotel. And I have to beg people to come to my cabin right now. Like you guys have seen me, I've been hustling, posting videos for January and February. We had 3 stays in January and there is only 1 stay coming up here in February. And then our next stay is not till March 10th. I've had plenty of you reach out to me by DM and receive a quote, knowing it's our lowest prices of the season, but I am getting no bites. And I'm legitimately asking, why? What is going on? What am I missing here? And in our cabin in particular, we have prided ourselves, is that a word? In the last 4 years, we have not gotten lower than $100,000 in gross income rental fees. Our competitors with 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom cabins, between 60 and 70 gross. We're a super host on Airbnb. We have all the accolades you can imagine. We have a great social media following. So I'm thinking if I'm struggling to fill my cabin, I know there are others. So then I'm also asking, like, why?
Economic uncertainty. People are having to do more with less. Look around. We're in an inflationary environment. Cost of living is through the roof, and people just don't have it like they did a few years back. Let's be honest with ourselves. Things are just not as good as they once were. In addition, Home Depot and Walmart have come out recently to give warning signs about the broader economy. Walmart have said that higher earners are spending more money in their stores. Why this isn't great news is because it shows you that perhaps people are falling down that economic ladder and they're getting poorer and poorer. In addition, you guys got kind of greedy. A lot of hosts on Airbnb got greedy. Airbnb, the platform itself, got greedy. We'll discuss this a bit more later in this video, so stay tuned. But greed, economic uncertainty have all culminated in this poor market for Airbnb hosts. But listen to what this guy has to say, because I think he illustrates what's going on in a very good fashion.
Airbnb hosts are on here complaining about, no one wanting to book their properties or anything like that. And it made me think about a lot of business models that aren't, thriving like they used to be. Of course, people get on here talk about Instagram and how it's like a monitoring spirit and there's no engagement. That's because Instagram became something that was never intended to be. Like it was supposed to be a app, full of taking pictures and weird filters, and then it became like this aesthetic focus. Everyone's a celebrity app. Airbnb started out to be a cheap alternative to hotels and resorts, but you got above yourself. And one thing that never understood to me, you started letting the hosts make the price and the fees, like adding cleaning fees and all. Who wants to go on vacation? Like the problem is when you started letting hosts control the fees, people really started realizing it's not convenient. At a hotel, that's the convenience of the front desk. It might be free breakfast, free concierge. Maybe they'll order you, uh, have the information that you might need for a car service, that type of thing. With Airbnbs, some of these they want you to clean. They tell you can't have people over to your own Airbnb. They have cameras in weird places. They're monitoring you like you're a child. You have become the big brother nobody wanted.
Exactly, exactly. And sometimes you're charged a cleaning fee and you're still expected to clean. How does that make sense? It's absolutely ridiculous. So in essence, greed got in the way for a lot of people, and that's why the Airbnb businesses simply aren't working. Having said that, I will admit that some folks bought at the wrong time. They bought homes with expensive mortgages during a period where prices are inflated, and now they're feeling the pinch because they can't pivot. If you paid over market for your property with an expensive mortgage, you need a certain rental income to survive. Otherwise, you're in the red, you're sinking, you're upside down on your house. And this is what we're seeing over and over again. Listen to what this host has to say.
I lose $25,000 a year on this Nashville Airbnb, and I'm going to walk through the process with you. I'm not a real estate guy. This is probably not a great financial investment, but that's okay. We're learning, so I'm going to kind of bring you guys along with the journey to possibly making my Airbnb profitable. I bought the home 2 years ago for $620,000 at a 6.99 interest rate. $2,000 loss in January, $600 profit in February, $1,500 loss in March, $700 loss in April, $2,000 loss in May, $2,400 profit in June, and we are in July currently, and we have had 0 bookings. Probably on me, but that brings us to a $4,500 loss. I'm rounding, but kind of gives you guys the scope. So as it sits this current year, we have lost $26,906.99. That'll be our loss for the year. It's actually more, but boy math, I don't factor that in. So that's where we're at, current loss. Hopefully it'll be better. And the year previously, we had a total loss end of year of $22,466.86. So round up, we'll add the totals, but that's where we're at.
Damn, you need to cut your losses. He sounds a bit too calm. Perhaps he's doing this for other reasons, but as it seems, this isn't his gig. He potentially needs to give it up and cut his losses. And this is what happens when you buy at inflated prices with high interest rates. You may be relying on Airbnb to supplement your income because longer term rentals simply aren't going to get you that amount that you need monthly. But he's operating at a loss, so potentially it'll be best to just cut his losses. This is not to mention additional taxes and fees that he may have to pay. And this is something the lady in our next clip failed to consider, how fees can shift the whole business model and make being an Airbnb host a nightmare.
Is Airbnb a dead business? As an Airbnb host myself, people don't realize that about 2 months ago, the split structure has changed. Airbnb has been operating where the host pays a certain percent, and so the guest pays a certain percent as per booking. Now, the host has to pay a total of 15.5% for every transaction just to use their platform. Instead of one person just paying a big fee, it should just be split down the middle. You're both using the platform. Now what the hosts are doing is they're actually upcharging a nightly fee to make up for the host paying that 15.5%. As an Airbnb host, why would I continue using Airbnb at 15.5% when I can use a local property management company who may charge 20%, but they'll be doing a lot more and putting me on more than one platform. They can put me on VRBO, Facebook, all this stuff. And then they also come into my house to check on my house and to do like a little bit extra. So I think the 9 years of being with Airbnb, I think we may need to break up.
Fair play, but I guess Airbnb are trying to maximize shareholder value. Are we really surprised? Now, having said that, some hosts have used this as an opportunity to take advantage of customers. Not everybody is hiking prices to pay those fees. Some are doing it because they know there's an opportunity to add a little bit more icing on the cake so that they can make some more money. Let's be honest with ourselves. Now, we're in an inflationary environment. Cost of living is through the roof, and people are getting greedy. This is the perfect cocktail for this disaster. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of Airbnb hosts are complaining, not to mention the amount of scams that are on the platform. I'm going to discuss this in another video, so stay tuned. What would be interesting to know is what you guys think about this topic. Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I shall see you in the next one. Peace.